Okay, I promised that I would show you how to do one of these with the standard deviation. So they gave you a random variable table, and so we're going to copy that table. So I just click on that, copy the table, I'll say OK, and then I'm going to go into a cell in Excel and then just paste it. Okay. Now the first thing you have to do is get the expected value. The expected value is, to find it, you take the product of the random variable times its probability, and for each one, and then you add it up, and that's that sum. So first we need to calculate x times p of x, and all I'm doing there is just labeling it. Here's where I'll do the calculation with an equal sign. I'll say take a2 and multiply it by b2, and do that all, and then hit enter. And now I'm going to ask it to do that all the way down. So I'm just going to click and drag the plus sign down so it fills them all in. So that means then that the expected value is going to be equal to the sum of this column here. So just do sum parenthesis of this column. Okay, so 24.20 is my expected value. Now, in order to get the standard deviation, I'm going to have to look at the squared differences that each of the random variables is from, each of the values, the possible values of the random variable is from the expected value. I have to look at the difference and then square it. Then I have to multiply that by the corresponding probability. Then I sum that and take the square root. So we'll take it step by step. Here I'm going to do equals and then parentheses, or I'm not going to do an equals yet. I'm going to say, okay, this is just telling myself what I'm doing. It's going to be the x value minus the mean, which I'll call m, which is the expected value. Remember, it's the mean. And then I'm going to square it. So that's going to be the square deviations column. So how do I do that? I do an equal sign, a parenthesis. And then I'm going to take the x value, like a2, and I'm going to subtract the expected value, which is, in this case, c8. Now, I'm always going to be subtracting c8, so I want that c8 to be a absolute reference. So if I hit the F4 button, it'll put the dollar signs in, or I can manually put those in. Then I close the parenthesis, and then I raise it to the second power with the caret. And then I'll hit enter, and that number. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that down by clicking and dragging to fill it in. Okay. Now I want to get the probability. I'm going to get the product of this column with the D column times the B column. I need that product. So I'm going to do the probability of x equals x, so that's the B column. I'm going to multiply that by the square deviation, that x minus mu squared. So there I'm just telling you what I'm doing in that column. Now I'm actually going to do the calculation, so I'll hit the equal sign, and I take the probability, like B2, I'm going to multiply that by D2, and then hit enter. I'm going to fill that down. Now the sum of this column is what's called the variance, and in order to get the standard deviation, you take the square root of the variance. So I'm just going to, take, in here I'm going to do equals, and then I do square root, parenthesis, and then I'm going to do the sum of that column right here, and then parenthesis, and then hit enter. That should be my number, rounded to the nearest thousand. Obviously I can't read because it says rounded to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to leave this because I've already made this video, and I think it's probably pretty comforting to watch me make a mistake. Anyway, if I'd rounded to the nearest tenth, I would have gotten the right answer. Sorry, guys.